Alright guys, so welcome back here. So we are back with another very amazing video. Here you can see we have a list of users, right? And each users have its own details. So you can see the action on the top. So if I just try to click on any user, and it's going to open up the detail of a specific user with a special social link, right? So it's just similar like WhatsApp, where you can share the links, where you can share the details. So I just do a very small little thing here, and so there are very different ways of doing. So if I need to just copy the URL, so you don't need to just do it manually. You just do that and just right click on it, copy. There is a way that I've done that. If I just try to click on this is going to show for 1 second, which indicates that yes, it's copied. And if I just try to paste it on my new tab, and you see the URL is fine, right? And this all data is coming with the seeders which I have applied, which I'm going to explain to you in the coding section. And here you see down you have a list of social icons. So if I just want to open up the Facebook, there you can see according to the URL that we have, you see we have a title, and that's the URL down there, right? So that's how we can share on the Facebook, and how we can open up that window, and with the proper link. I'm going to tell you everything about it. Next we have our Twitter. We can also share with the Twitter on the URL. You see there is a model open with a new page. So there are different ways. I have applied the same thing on WhatsApp. I use focus. So that's how you can open up with a blank new page, and that's how you can see that's a new link URL for this. And the last thing, which is a mail, if I just try to click on it, so everything which is formatted in my body, you can see, and we can apply right up here, right? So that's it, and that's what we are going to build in the next video. So thank you for watching, and I continue that, and I want to see you in the coding section. Alright guys, so here I want to start from the very basics. So I don't want to write each and everything, because that's really takes a lot of time off here. So it's the best way that I want to explain you things which are very common and basic. So when it comes to the sharing the URL, so that's where we are gonna start. So but still, for all the new beginners, those are looking to for this tutorial, so I just want to guide you what I've done here. So here you see, so first thing you need to do is to make sure your .env should have your social underscore icons, and you need to create the database. And after creating the database, and you make sure that you have your phpMyAdmin, and in my case where I have add my social underscore icons with the table users, and you see a list of a lot of data, and that's all come from my seeders. So factories and seeders method. So how we have done, it's very basic. So let's show you still. All you need to do, if you go to your database, and just to make that zoom so you guys can see properly, database, and you need to go to the factories, user factory.php, and here you see that you have our new URL faker data. So how you can generate that, that's all done in the documentation. You can easily follow that, and you can do it, and I exactly did the same thing. So all you need to do is to just add that URL inside your user factory.php, but make sure that you have to run the migration. And so just want to show you one more thing. If you need to run the migration, so all you need to do is to follow up the database migrations and create users table, and that's where I have add my URL. So once you do that, and make sure you have your whatever, the terminal, or you can use a Visual Studio Code, whatever you feel more comfortable. So in my case, I already run it. So you need to just simply type here PHP artisan migrate after when you're done with the after putting your columns, and you can run and migrate that, and that will generate in your database. Now we are actually on our factory. So once you do inside your user factory.php, then you need to go to your seeders. So seeders are inside your database. So make sure that, and I have created here a seeder with the name of user seeder.php. So in order to generate that, all you need to do is to simply type here PHP artisan make seeder, and the name of the seeder in my case is user seeder. All right, so once you put enter, and I have already generated, so this is going to show me that the seeder already exists, so I can't run it, right? So that's the first point. And now that's a very basic concept. All you need to do is to include your user model, and I have added the td data and create method. And once you do it, and then you have to go to your database seeder.php. In your case, it's its comment, right? So you have to uncomment it, and just because we have created our user seeder, and you just need to run a command after that, which is php artisan db:c, right? So php artisan db:c, that's only the command you need to run. And once you're done with that, all the data is reflect on your database. And then afterward, I created here a controller with the name of app http controllers user controller. You need to just create that controller, and with the help of paginate, I want to just only show results, 5 results, and I just pass here 5 inside the paginate method, which Laravel provides a very good feature for pagination. And then I just use compact here to reflect my data on my view, which I have created here. So I have done some few things which I just want to show you. I have created a folder with the name of layouts. Inside here, you see I passed my jQuery code, which you can fetch from code.jQuery.com. I also have here font awesome, which you can grab from the cdnjs.com. That's where you can see. I don't have open up. So let's open up the cdnjs.com. That's where you can easily find here font awesome, right? So just simply type here font awesome, and that's the that's not the one actually. Font awesome cdn and c. Yeah, just click on down here and on this version of all.min.css and copy that right from here, right? So that's what we actually are doing. We can copy, but we are also working with the social icon. So that's something which is very new, additional. Okay, so once you do with that, then you have to find the code.jQuery.com. You can easily get from here the uncompressed version and just simply grab and put inside your code. All right, so you have done with that. We have done some styling with the style.css. I'm not gonna go to the style.css. This entire code will be for you guys. So if you want to follow up with me, or you can even just simply download that, and you can just simply listen how I've done, because I'm gonna do definitely the main portion, which is the copy and pasting link, sharing the links. So that's how, and I have reflect the data here inside the table. So very basic. So these are all the basics. I don't want to waste your time. I hope you've watched a lot of videos, remaining videos, and that's very much similar to that. You can easily do that. And then I just pass here a route, which is from the web.php, which is basically this is the route name, and I just create another page, and that's how we can show our social links, right? So this is all done, and now I want to show you my UI, which is actually very simple. That's my table, data reflected, and once I click on the specific user, so this is going to show me the detail of the user, and plus we can't clickable. It's not a clickable. We need to make that only readable. So, and that's how we can share with the social icons, right? So that's really much it for the explanation, and let's jump and start with the code. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do here is a bunch of steps. I have also used here, if I go to my master.php blade, and that's where I have stacked my scripts, and if I want to pass my scripts to the other files, I need to push them up. So I can easily use here the push. So just after the end section, let's add here a push helper function, and that's inside that I'm going to add up my script and end the push, right? So that's the first phase. After that, I'm going to do here is once I click on the so we need to create here a document. So inside my script tags, let's do here is I just want to make this yeah, so right here you need to do is to just create here $document.ready function, right? So inside that ready function, I'm gonna create here a copied link. So that's basically my variable. So let's create the variable, or you can create here let's use here, so basically I'm using here ES5 ES6 standards. So let's create a variable with the name of copied link and make that empty, right? So by default it's empty. Okay, so after that, and make sure that you have to so I need to create it globally. So let's just simply put that outside of the document.ready function, because I have to create a function later on, so we can so that function can also access that variable. All right, so here just after that, I need to just get this variable, and I need to pass my value of through the ID. So I'm going to create here an URL, share underscore URL, and I need to give it that ID right inside my input type field. So what actually it means, so this is going to get the value. So in order to check this out, let's console.log and let's have a look. So if I go back here and just inspect this out, go to my console, I can't actually write anything here. So just remove the read only and just test this out. So if I click here, and because we haven't used any click even, so this is not gonna work. So it's fine. Okay, that's okay. So what actually here it means that whatever is inside, I'm not using any clickable even, that's why we cannot see any URL, but you can but we can do here a stuff which actually we can later on check this out. But what I did here is, if I need to get the value, so I forget to bring here dot val, so that's how we can get the value. Okay, so now I need to share it with the Twitter, I need to share it with the Facebook. So all I'm going to do here is, first we will go with a share with Facebook. So let's do here is to just write here and let's pass up that inside your anchor tag. So I bring up here and just remove this href, right? So I remove this href, go down here and let's pass here the ID with the selector. So oops, actually it didn't copy my ID. Yeah, now I need to, that should be share with Facebook. Yeah, first I need to get the ID first I need to get from the ID. So let's give it here share with Facebook, and I'm using here a click function. So let's give here a click function, and inside that function I need to do here a property method with jQuery provide window.open, and that's going to open here a sharer.php. So how we can do it, it's very simple. Let's grab from my code, and you need to do a bunch of stuff here. So the most easiest way is just pass the URL for the Facebook. So this is all the facebook.com/sharer/share.php UN question mark. We have passing here a parameter with the U equal to, and whatever I have copied, and this is going to show up here. So basically we haven't created any function so far, but we did here is whatever the value is inside the input field. So whatever we get inside that, we can easily pass it to the copied URL. So how we're gonna do is just simply concatenate that and put that right after here. Okay. All right. So we window.open, we share with the Facebook, and let's first test this out if it's working. Our jQuery is working fine. So I'm using here a alert. Once it's click with the ID, share with Facebook, so this alert gonna show. So I click on the Facebook, so I can easily see my alert. Right now you could see it's past my URL, right? That's why we have used this U as a parameter. So whatever we have, we can easily, and we can share that, but we don't need to share that our URL, but we need to share the link. So it works very well. We can see it later on, right? Okay, so we copied the link, and now I need to do one more stuff here. We need to create a dialog, and with a specific height and the specific width. So how we are gonna do? We can simply pass another dialog with just after the copied link. Just pass up here, and now if I just go back and refresh this, and let's click on the Facebook, and you see now we can see the dialog with that specific width and height, and this is basically a dialog, right? Rather we can open up a new page. Now we can have our dialog, and you see my Facebook account is already logged in, so that's why my image is here. Okay, so I'm going to close that out for now, and now if I go back to the code, and that's how we can share with the Facebook. Now the next step is that we can also share with the Twitter. So the next step is to share with the Twitter. Let's go to the Twitter. Let's give it the ID. All right, so the stuff is almost very much similar to that, despite of the difference with the the window.open URL. So I'm going to copy the same thing from here and let's paste it down here. And but it's a completely entire different way when we do with the other stuff like mail. It's completely different. That's where we can use encoded URI component, which I'm going to show you later. Okay, so now we are working with the share with Twitter. So let's write here that's how we can tweet with the URL. We can simply pass here https twitter.com/intent/tweet URL equal to that. Okay, here I can show you if I don't need any dialogue. You can very simply you can do is just remove that, right? So from one way to the other, we can also do with that way. All right, so if I just saves it and let's do with the make it 1 2 3 4 for the confirmation and refresh this. If I go to the Twitter and nothing works, and the reason why it doesn't work because I haven't applied the ID. So let's grab the share with the Twitter and saves it and refresh that. Now if I click on the Twitter, this is going to work, and now the whole complete screen appears, right? So there you can see and it's open, and it's definitely nothing here because we haven't get any value from the copied URL, right? So I'm just going to close that up for now. Okay, so we are good to go. We just remove the alerts. We don't need that. Everything is working fine. The third step is let's go with the WhatsApp, right? Which is a very interesting. Okay, so let's share with the WhatsApp. So I'm going to pass here hash share with WhatsApp, and I'm going to do here is to do the same stuff which I have done. If I need to open up with the new blank, so I'm going to copy that and let's grab, just make it the ID and share with WhatsApp. Let's pass up here an ID, and all I need to do is you can apply here different parameters. Now here I'm going to pass here text. Let's suppose if I want to add the text. So what actually it means, we pass another parameter which is text. So what does actually do, you can see it now. I need to open up with the new blank page, so I'm going to add up here comma and let's add up here blank, just like we pass href. Okay, so I hope we are share with the WhatsApp. Yeah, we passed the URL. Let's refresh this and see. So I'm going to click on the share with WhatsApp, but it doesn't work. Actually, I don't need any hash here, and I need hash here, and it's already there. Let's refresh this and test it in, and you see now we can easily open up with the new we use underscore blank, and that's the parameter that we are passing. So this is going to work, but again we don't have any copied URL, which we are going to create a function for this later on, right? Okay, so but last thing before I should jump to the mail, I need to create first the copied function. Let's create a function copied. So here I'm going to write the dollar document dot on click, right? So I'm going to create here on click here. Let's create here a function and inside the button, which is this. So let's create here a class with the name of you can name it anything, copy to copy, and what I just make that name. You can write any class name right here. Okay, so when I click here on the button, so there should be a function. It does some function. So let's go inside here, and inside that I'm going to create here a function with the name of copy. I actually want to copy to clipboard, so let's create the name of the function should be copy to clipboard, right? And I need inside this function I need to pass two parameters, which is the element and the button, which we have just what the action we did. So I'm going to create first a function. Let's create here a function on top of this. So I'm going to create here a function and set that to be copy to clipboard. So I'm going to create a function, and that function should have two parameters, which is the element like the element means that what is the body or the input field or the element that we need to get the text. And the next, the action, which is the button element. So let's give it the name of button element, right? Okay, so now here inside that, I'm gonna do here a variable. Let's get the name. Let's give it the name of let temp equal to, and get the input. So I did that, and this input field should have a lot of objects, a lot of properties inside it, and I need to append that with the body. So let's use here body dot append. Append means that we are add on the things inside the body. So basically inside body we have an input field. So let's pass here temp, and let's give it the value $temp.val, and let's first get the element. So for get the element, we need to pass here element. That's we can pass from the that's where we can pass when the function call, when we click on the button. So whatever the element, so get the value of it and select it. So select means that it's a function that will select the value. That means everything which is inside that. And how we can execute the command with for the copy, we can bring here document dot, and let's give it here execute command, and inside that give it the name of copy. All right, it makes sense to all. Okay, now once it copied, just remove that, and after that we need to do one more stuff for the button. Actually, I need that button element, just an effect that if it's copied, we can show, yeah, if there is something is copied. So change that to some clipboard or some link. So I'm gonna do here is once it's copied, I want that link to be changed to, like right now it's clipboard. We can change it to link, right? There is some different social icon. Sorry, not social icon. That should be a different font awesome icon here. So for that, all I need here is to pass the btn element. Let's grab the btn element because I need to change it. So for the HTML, so it means that we can now change the HTML for that. And I need to do here is to pass my backticks. And let's change that and give it the class equal to fa dash link, and that's fine. All right, and I'm going to use here a function with the name of set timeout, and here that contains two different things, and the time interval, and let's give it the time interval of 2 seconds, and inside that let's give it the HTML. In other case, if it's after 2 seconds, we're gonna show the clipboard. So that should be fa dash clipboard, right? All right, so I hope we are good with our function. So our function is completed. So I need to pass down here the two, because we passed 2 parameters inside it. So the first is the element and the second is the button element. So let's create that. So for the element, how I'm gonna get the we have to do some traversing. So it's very simple, like how we can do and reach to the input field. So $this.parent, go to the parent, and again we have a parent just right after the parent we need to find the input. So what actually it means, I'm going to explain you, and let's go to the input. So if I just inspect this out, and that's where we have our if I open up that, and that's the button. So we have basically, we need to access to the input field. So we need to reach from to the parent of this element. So we go to the parent and then another parent of this. So that's why we have used 2 parents, and find the input, and we also have to access the btn element. So we just simply pass a $this to access the object for that. Okay, so I hope it's fine. Let's refresh and check this out. If I go and refresh this, and let's do one more thing here. I need to pass the URL inside that dynamically, which is coming. So if I go to my controller, let's go here inside the controller, user controller, and I need to pass the URL inside my user underscore detail page. So for that, I need to create here a variable $user underscore detail equal to find the ID, and let's do here is with, let's first pass the user underscore detail and the variable, right? That's how we can pass. And now I'm going to do here is right inside this user underscore detail, we have to give the value. So let's give it a value here. So value equal to give it the name of user underscore detail arrow URL, and that's fine. Okay, I believe it's fine. Yep, copy it and let's have a look. So if I refresh this, and you see now we have our link. Now if I just try to copy that, nothing happens. So let's go back to the code. So function is fine. So the function is fine, and I need to do here is, yeah, basically we have used this as a class CDOCB, which is a class. So I need to give it the dot for the class. And now if I go back and refresh this, so yeah, it's fine. Now if I just try to click on it, you see after some few seconds, this clipboard disappear and our link favicon icon appears, which indicates that it's copied. Let's have a see that if it's copied. Yeah, it's copied. I just try to just simply click on here and just Control V, and now the link is basically copied, right? Now if I just click on the Facebook, now because we are getting the URL, and if I just try to access that, and now you see that we can easily get the URL, right? Whatever the URL is. So this is working for the Facebook case. If I try to open up my Twitter, so it's getting the URL, which is fine. And now if I just try to get the WhatsApp, and you see that it is getting the getting the copied link, right? So all three are working. Now we are left with the only one single, which is the mail, and it's a little bit different because we need to add some name of the person as a user. So here for that, I'm gonna do here a stuff which I do right after the let's do that right here. Just after that, let's create here a dummy user, because we are not doing it dynamically. We are not basically registering a user or something like, we have no any authentication. So let's create here a user email. So let's suppose give it the abination@gmail.com. This is the email which it gets. So right inside the document, I'm going to create here something very much similar to what we do with the, so I'm going to create here an ID. So let's create here the ID equal to that, share with mail. And right here inside this, I'm going to pass here the share with mail, and let's create here a click function. So dot click function, and inside here I'm going to format it using here variable. So you can use here let formatted body equal to, so let's pass some string here. Hello, I am working as a developer. And this is basically a simple formatted body that you usually apply for your mail. So I just give it here, and now just after that, let's pass here a copied link. So plus concatenate that and just pass here copied link, right? Now I need to create here another variable. Let's give it the mail to link. So So I created here a variable, and let's give it here mail2. Basically is the param which I'm passing. So mail2 colon question mark, and let's pass here the subject. So in my case, subject should be let's pass here the user, which is coming from the variable which I created, which, as I explained, that we are not working dynamically, we have no any authentication process. So I pass that from the I just simply create a name inside the user. So, and let's give it here the name of wants to work with you, right? And that's all fine. And let's pass here, just after that, just pass here the body. So I'm using here and as a parameter, and body equal to, let's do here encode URI component. So basically URI component will encode everything with a special character with special meaning. So you use it for your component of URI, such as $sign and some asterisk. So basically you can use everything as a special character. So that's why I use here encode URI component. And you can definitely look on the PHP website, PHP function in detail, that what are the other features which included that, but most commonly it's used for that purpose. Okay, so now I just want to get this formatted body, just pass it inside the encode URI component, and I want to see it in the window.location. I'm using here another way. So let's do window.location.href equal to, and the variable which I created, which is mail to link and semicolon, right? So I hope it's gonna work. You can also use here for, if I have skipped one thing, that for the WhatsApp you can also use something which is known as window.focus. So you can also use that. Let's suppose if you're interested to do that, you can simply do here is to create here a variable, the name of win, whatever the name of the variable. Why I keep doing var. Okay, and now down here you can also use here, let's give it the win.focus method. You can also use that. So if you can try this, let's refresh this, and if we click on the WhatsApp, which is not working, there is some error. It says unexpected identifier, and where actually it's showing up. Let's test this out. Okay, just want to make this comment and to check. Yeah, it's fine for the WhatsApp, and you can also look here. There is an issue with the email. Let's have a look it again. So I use here share with mail. I pass the ID right here, and this ID, once it clicked, so there is a variable with the name of formatted body. Hello, I'm working as a developer, and we pass here the copied link, and then I create another variable with the name of mail to link, and that mail to pass as a subject, and we pass here a user wants to donate, and your body equal to, and then we have to, yeah, I missed here to concatenate that. So let's concatenate, because we need to pass here the formatted body. So I forget that, and then we just simply use to open up into a new location. So we use here, we use href to get the href, all the parameters which is inside the mail to link. So let's refresh this and test the mail link. Yeah, it's working on my second screen. So if I just click on it, you see it's open up on my new window, and there you go. So there you see that aviation@gmail.com. That's everything that we have passed inside our code. If I can show you, hello, I'm working as a developer and wants to work with you, and this is all my formatted body. So let's open up my mail again, and we pass it with the URL, the copied URL, and send mail, send to from mail for window 10. So this is basically That's where the formatted mail to link or things are working. It also tells you that send from mail, right? Okay, so we are good to go. We pass the subject, we get the AB Nation from, which is absolutely mine. So that's it. I believe you really enjoyed this very useful video. That's how we can share our links to different users. That's how we can share anything that we want to share. We can share the pages, we can share the URL, just like on WhatsApp you share things, but in the advanced way there are the different ways of doing. But that's it. I hope you get some idea out of it. So thank you for watching this video, and I want to see you with the next video.